ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ Can someone help in reading? I can share the screen. Anybody is available?
I did the prayer already.
Yes, Dr. Mara.
Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't here yesterday. Which, which
Yeah, I think 18th.
18th verse?
Shall I read one or two verses, the last few verses till you? Okay,
No.
you are already on 18th. We have completed 19th, I think.
The 18th verse.
19th. Yeah, 18th we completed. We repeated twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to do this sloka already? Oh, yeah, we did this already. So we should go to 19 then?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Do you
You
want?
want me to just repeat last 2-3 shlokas with meaning? Just last 2-3s.
You want
Yeah,
to do?
I will just say the last 16th, 17th, 18th.
That's fine.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः 16th onwards I will say ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवत् ज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम्. But to those whose ignorance is destroyed by the knowledge of the self, like the sun, to them knowledge reveals the supreme Brahman. Tad buddhaya tadatmanah tannishthastatparayana. Tad buddhayah tadatmanah tannishthastatparayana. गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. Intellect absorbed in that, their self-being, that, established in that, with that, for their supreme goal, they go where there is no return, their sins dispelled by knowledge. विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव स्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिनः. Sages look with an equal eye upon a brahmana endowed with learning and humility, on a cow, on an elephant, and even on a dog and an outcast. Now the 1990. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. Please go ahead, Dr. Mara. धन्यवाद.
Yeah, I hope I can read it. Yesha, whose manaha, mind, samye, in that which is the same in Brahman, sitam, rooted, iha eva, even here in this life, taihi, by those wise people, sargaha, the cycle of birth and death, samsara. The cycle of birth and death is sarga. Jita is won over, he, because nirdosham, free from any defect, Brahman, samam, same, tasmat, therefore, they, Brahmani, in Brahman, sitaha, abide. Yesham manaha samye, sitam iha eva, taihi, sargah, jitaha, he, nirdosham, Brahma, samam, tasmat te, Brahmani, stitaha. The cycle of birth and death is won over by those whose mind is rooted in the same, that is Brahman, here itself in this life. Since Brahman, that is free from any defect, is always the same, they, the wise people, abide in Brahman. I'll read this again. The cycle of birth and death, samsara, is won over by those whose mind is rooted in the same, that is Brahman, here itself in this life. Since Brahman, that is free from any defect, is always the same, they, the wise people, they meaning the wise people, abide in Brahman. We have seen how those who have knowledge of the Atma, being Brahman, are free from doership and enjoyership caused by ignorance and error. Their self-ignorance and everything caused by it has been destroyed in the wake of knowledge. Their minds are awake to Atma, being Brahman. So their minds are awake to Atma, being Brahman, being free from any sense of limitation. They know they are free because for them, I is Brahman alone. There is no longer any doubt or error, and nothing more remains to be accomplished. Such people see Brahman in everyone and everything. Such people see Brahman in everyone and everything, from the most exalted to the lowliest. How? Because they know that there is only one Atma in all of them, and that the Atma in all beings is the Atma, that is their own self. So the Atma in all beings is the Atma that is in their own self. They know that the Atma is not affected by anything that happens to the body, mind, and senses, be it the respected Brahmana's Atma or the dog eater's Atma. Atma is one whole, limitless. Okay, it is the one whole, limitless, and is manifest in every intellect. Just as there is one whole space present in every stomach, just as you find the all-pervasive space wherever you go, you so too is consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness is not limited by time and space. Consciousness is always there in any place, and all movement takes place in consciousness. Atma is this consciousness. Those who know this are samadarshis, because they recognize the Atma that is the same in all beings. I'll read this paragraph one more time about the Atma. Atma is one, whole, limitless, and is manifest in every intellect, just as there is one whole space present in every stomach. Just as you find the all-pervasive space wherever you go, so too is consciousness everywhere. Consciousness is not limited by time and space. Consciousness is always there in any place, and all movement takes place in consciousness. Atma is this consciousness. Those who know this or those who know this are samadarshis, because they recognize the Atma that is the same in all beings. The mind has to be prepared. The wise do not take the Atma as a limited entity, knowing that it is all pervasive and unaffected. Atma is not affected by the body or the nature of even a dog eater or anything the person does. But the ignorant do not recognize this fact. If a wise man were to teach a dog eater, what would he teach him? Would he say, your Atma is impure because you have been eating dogs? Atma is ever pure, and so a wise man cannot make such a statement. Therefore, all he can teach is Sattvam Asi, regardless of whether the listener is an angel, a god, or a dog eater. And how can one say Tattvam Asi unless the self happens to be Tat, the self of everything? I'll read this one more time. The wise do not take the Atma as a limited entity. So the Atma is not a limited entity, knowing that it is all pervasive and unaffected. Atma is not affected by the body or the nature of even dog eater or anything the person does. But the ignorant do not recognize this fact. If a wise man were to teach a dog eater, what would he teach him? Would he say, your Atma is impure because you have been eating dogs? Atma is ever pure, and so a wise man cannot make such statement. Therefore, all he can teach is Tattvamasi, regardless of whether the listener is an angel, a dog, or is a god, or a dog eater. And how can one say Tattvamasi unless the self happens to be Tat? Self happens to be Tat, the self of everything. Atma is the truth of everything, and hence it is always the same. It does not undergo any change. This is why the wise can share his or her vision with anyone. The question, of course, remains whether the listener will be able to understand the teaching. He or she may require some polishing, for which we have various disciplines. First, the dog may be removed from the dog eater's diet so that the person can become a little more sensitive. And that may be followed by other disciplines such as prayer. Only when the mind of the listener has been prepared can the knowledge take place. I'll repeat this one again. Atma is the truth of everything, and hence it is always the same. It does not undergo any change. This is why the wise can share his or her vision with anyone. The question, of course, remains whether the listener will be able to understand the teaching. He or she may require some polishing, for which we have various disciplines. First, the dog may be removed from the dog eater's diet so that the person can become a little more sensitive, and that may be followed by other disciplines such as prayer. Only when the mind of the listener has been prepared can the knowledge take place. So, only when the mind of the listener has been prepared can the knowledge take place. None of the preparations being discussed here are to purify the Atma. It is only to prepare the person's mind to recognize that the Atma has always been pure. There is no other purpose for such a preparation. It is not a preparation for Atma, it is a preparation for the mind. Nor does this preparation have anything to do with the changing the cells of the person's physical body. The preparation has only to do with the person's mind. The mind has to be prepared, and that is all we are trying to, that's all we try to do. So the third paragraph is about purifying the mind to receive that knowledge. So the last paragraph is about the mind has to be prepared. Okay. Treating everyone as equal is not the point. Another point that Shankara clarifies in his introduction to this verse is that when Krishna says that the wise see the same Atma in everyone, it does not mean that he treats everyone equally. So here, treating everyone as equal is not the point. Another point that Shankara clarifies in his introduction to this verse is that when Krishna says that the wise see the same Atma in everyone, it does not mean that he treats everyone equally. Suppose a person looks upon a Brahmana and a dog eater as equals, placing them on the same pedestal, so to speak. Can you say that such a person has a vision of the same Brahman in all? Not necessarily. The person may be ignorant, not wise. What must be understood here is that it is not that the wise do not perceive a dog eater as a dog eater. Of course they do. What Krishna says here is that they recognize one Atma in everyone and everything, one self that is the self, the truth of all. The truth of all. These are the people being discussed in this verse. They alone or some others is referred to in the previous verse. The word sarga means birth and implies the cycle of birth and death called samsara, the life of becoming that the ignorant are caught up in. The samsara is now won over Gita by the wise, which means that there is no future birth for them. And the winning over takes place while one is alive in this body, in this life, and at this time, right now, here, ihe eva. These people have.
Dr. Mara, are you okay?
Yeah, let me
Anybody?
paragraph,
Anybody?
and then
Huh?
we can do a little bit of Manana and then see. And in the meantime, I see I can help or not.
Okay, dear.
2 lines here. These
Okay.
people have gained a victory over this life of becoming through knowledge, thereby proving that such a victory is indeed possible. Krishna then describes the mind of those who gain this victory as being established or steady sthita in that which has sameness, samye, uh, that which does not undergo any change whatsoever, Brahman. So, this is about treating everyone as equal is not the point. So, we read about how you prepare the mind, mm, and then the treating everyone as equal is not the point. Do you want to do Manana up till now? Yes.
Yes, dear. This actually we had finished this also
Oh, you
yesterday.
did.
We had we had finished till um, Atma is sinless, pure. Till from there,
Atma is free from attributes.
that was completed. Yeah,
Oh,
but we can do some manana because you were not there, no, Dr. Mara? So
yeah,
we can
I
just have a
have
quick. You want me to read quickly the whatever this Atma is free from attributes
Sure.
and then
Go.
moksha is not after death. You
Okay.
want to relax for some time? I can share the screen and
No, I
in
can
between.
share. That's fine. You want to read? Let's go ahead.
This you already read, right? Atma is free from attributes, Dr. Mara.
No.
Okay. I will quickly read so that because we had completed yesterday. And meanwhile, if anybody can help in reading, please, we can share the screen, either Dr. Mara or me. Okay, please help.
Yes, Didi, I'm there.
You are there, but okay,
Yeah, just
okay.
sorry, it's late
Dr.
today.
Mara, if you need some rest, then please, I can share the screen as well.
Yeah, I'll share the screen, Loudly. If you would like to read it, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, Lovelinji, please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Just give me a minute, Didi. I'll just take my specs.
Yeah, I will read till then, no
Okay.
problem.
Yes.
Atma is free from attributes. Not being subject to time, Brahman undergoes no change whatsoever. Brahman has no qualities and therefore there is nothing that can undergo change. A substance, for example, has its own peculiar attributes. By adding or taking away certain attributes, the substance undergoes a change. Even if the substance is left alone, in the course of time, its attributes undergo changes. Thus, it always goes on changing. There is only one thing that does not undergo in any change whatsoever, and that is Atma, that is Brahman. Even space disappears in sleep, but not Brahman. Not being subject to change, there is no death for the Atma. Atma neither dies nor does it cause anything to die. Death is only for a substance that obtains within the time. If you analyze Atma, you will see it can only be Chaitanya, consciousness. The analysis itself is possible because of my being conscious of my mind, senses, body, this world, and other people with reference to which I take myself to be a separate entity, which is not true. In fact, all that I can objectify is anatma. Atma is the only one that is self evident. So beautiful,
Yes.
no?
Yes, Didi, I can read now.
Yeah,
You want to complete this?
yeah. No, you can go ahead, Lovelinji. Please.
Okay,
Yeah.
Didi.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Mara.
Even time is evident to this self-evident Atma. Time does not objectify consciousness. Rather, in my consciousness, there is a concept of time. Anything other than Atma, being totally dependent upon Atma for its existence, is called Mithya. And Atma, that is self existent, is Satya, the truth of everything. Not being bound by time, Satya Atma is not subject to change or death. It always remains the same. Therefore, in this verse, Atma is called Samya, meaning that the self is in everything, and yet is not affected by Punya Papa or the qualities of Tamas, Rajas, and Sattva. And for whom is this Samya, the Atma? Certainly not for one who is affected. Suppose I take myself as one who possesses the good qualities of a Brahmana. For example, I can sit beside a dog eater and watch him eat. Even if the food is nicely served and the table beautifully decorated with flowers and all, of course not. Being a humble Brahmana, I will surely shrink and want to leave immediately. If I am the Atma that enjoys the attributes of scholarship and so on, and another Atma is the one who has the attributes of ignorance and error, then definitely each Atma is different. But the wise people, Panditas, Samadarshis, have the vision of the self that is same in all, unaffected by anything and everything that happens to be done by anyone. Moksha is not after death. For those minds are awake to this Atma, the life of becoming samsara is not no more, even while they are alive, here, iha eva, in this body. This means that freedom, moksha, is not after death. How can knowledge of Atma happen after death? All you do after death is travel. If you spend your life meditating on Brahman as the cause of everything, praying to that Brahman and so on without understanding that you are Brahman, then you may go to Brahma Loka, the heaven considered to be the greatest of all heavens. Please do not ask me if there is a Brahma Loka. I cannot prove that there is, and you cannot prove that there is not. Therefore, let us simply assume that Brahma Loka is, and that you, having lived a life of devotion to Ishvara, will go there and live with Brahmaji for some time. There you will enjoy peace and whatever happiness Brahma Loka has to offer. Eventually, Brahmaji may even decide to teach you. What will he teach? He can teach only Tat Tvam Asi, exactly what you were taught before when you were here in this life. Now, Brahmaji is teaching you and you understand. You are liberated by the knowledge. And when does this liberation takes place? Only now. Always now. There is no after death moksha. If there is survival after death, there is only travel, not moksha. Moksha gained by being taught by Brahmaji is also not after death moksha. Moksha is not an event in time. It is an accomplished fact. Atma is always liberated, mukta. If bondage were real, even God could not remove it because it would be reality, God's own reality. Nor can God remove a bondage that is false because it is not there. No one can remove something that does not exist, not even God. God can only teach and make you understand that there is no bondage. Atma is sinless, pure. Krishna also describes Samam Brahma in this verse as Nirdosham. Dosha means a defect or blemish. Ultimately, any attribute or quality is a dosha and it exists because it can only belong to a substance. And a substance is always anitya, non eternal. Therefore, nirdosha means free from any defect, free from any attribute, such as morality, division, etc. For those people who do not know the true nature of Atma, Atma is something that has dog eating, etc., as attributes, defects. When you say that a dog eater is a sinner, what do you mean? A sinner means one who has committed sins, and therefore all the sins are sticking to the person. And who is this person? Is the physical body the sinner? Are the senses or mind the sinner? The body itself cannot perform any action, and therefore it cannot be taken as sinner. The senses are only instruments, they are not sinners either. Similarly, the mind is not a sinner. It too is an instrument, a means. Who then is a sinner? Atma is the sinner. When you condemn a person as a sinner, you are condemning Atma as a sinner because you look upon Atma as one that possesses all attributes or defects. Then anything you do as thou sticks to the Atma, and Atma is taken as defective, doshavan. This means that Atma is already doshvan and keeps gathering more doshas. Atma is equivalent to a substance, like any other substance with nucleus, and attracts a variety of seen and unseen results in the form of punya and papa. All of this sticks to Atma for those who are deluded, who do not know that Atma is always pure and therefore never affected by punya and papa. Atma is not affected in any way whatsoever by dosha you impute to it. Because Brahman, which is Atma, is Nirdosha, it is Sama, always the same, even when the self is taken to be sinner and so on. Sama means one, Eka. Brahman does not undergo any change. It is always one, the same. And in Brahman alone, the wise people ever remain rooted. Samai Brahmani Sthitaha. They remain rooted because they are Brahman. Atma being Brahman. Brahmani te sthitaha means that the wise are non separate from Brahman. Previously, due to lack of discrimination, aviveka, not knowing the true nature of Atma, they thought Atma was subject to punya and papa, meaning subject to defect, dosha. Therefore, everyone appeared different. I have my own punya papa and you have yours. Each one comes with his her or her own baggage, collects a lot of additional baggage, and leaves the world taking only the subtle baggage with him or her. Just as you throw away useless baggage and take only what is important, the subtle baggage called punya and papa is carried to the next birth. Even if you do not want to, you have to carry your punya papa baggage with you because that is the law. As long as you look upon yourself as a receptacle for punya papa, assuming doership, there will be this connection with karma. When there is the notion I am the doer. Due to aviveka, one is bound. By viveka, one comes to recognize that the self is Brahman now and always. They remain Brahman and there is no question of rebirth. They never return. To remain in Brahman means they are Brahman. Therefore, there is no question of their taking another birth. The interest in survival after death. You may say here that while it is very pleasant to think of yourself as eternal, you do not like the idea of not coming back. This is because you want to survive, which is every mortal's desire. Survival being the original instinct, no one wants death, and so one thinks he has to survive. I want to survive is a part of original problem. If I want to survive here, naturally, I want to survive after death also. The scriptures say that I will survive, a point that I am very much interested in. And if I am told that after realizing Brahman, I will again come back, that I will be born with this self knowledge and I will enjoy this world, that too is very interesting. Or if I am told that after gaining this knowledge here, I will have increasing layers of happiness, I can enjoy that possibility. Perhaps I will have a different type of body, x ray eyes, better ears, and so on. If I am told all this and similar things, I will definitely find it interesting. The problem here is that I think I am perfect. Sorry, I The problem here is that I think I am imperfect. I am imperfect as a is a conclusion I have made, and because of that, there is love for getting something later. This is the problem of all samsaris. Therefore, they say, Swamiji, I don't like this idea of not coming back. I want to return. For the samsari, I can definitely say, don't worry, you will come back. Who told you you won't be reborn? Just don't ask me how you will be born because there are so many possibilities. You may be born as an angel or as a cockroach, but definitely you will return. Whereas for the wise, no such thing happens. Knowing they are Brahman, the wise are established in Brahman, Brahmani Sthita, meaning they are non separate from Brahman. There is no cause for fear. The original fear is the fear of death, but Atma, the self, just is. It is not born and it does not die. The problem is that I think I am subject to mortality, imperfections, and attributes. That I am subject to doshas is the original problem. As long as one thinks that I, the Atma, has attributes or defects, there are problems. Atma being subject to time is a dosha. Atma being subject to imperfection is a dosha. Atma being subject to sorrow is a dosha. Atma being subject to limitation is a dosha. Atma being subject to birth and death is a dosha. Atma being subject to punya papa, doership and enjoyership is a dosha. As long as you look upon Atma as doshavan, there is no way of getting rid of doshas. Even if you remove one dosha, another will arise. Do we want to discuss or I read ahead?
Yeah, this is the last paragraph, right? We'll finish this, then we can discuss.
Okay, there is nothing to be afraid of. Therefore, Krishna makes it very clear here that because Atma is free from defect, nirdosha, it is Sama, Brahman. Knowing this, the wise are Brahman. There is no Jiva left anymore to come back. Remaining in Brahman, they have won over the cycle of birth and death. That is moksha, liberation. They are liberated right now, and after the death of the present body, there is no coming back. Does this mean they completely disappear? They cannot disappear because all that exists is Satya Atma alone. What disappears is the false, and the truth alone remains. Atma is Satya Brahma, and Brahman is Ishvara, the cause of the world. You are Brahman, and as Ishvara, you are Jagat Karana. All there is Ishvara, there being no other entity. This is the truth. You are Ishvara even now. Who says you are not? Tat Tvam Asi means you are Ishvara from the standpoint of the self. The self, Atma, is Ishvara. When all there is Ishvara, you do not lose anything by becoming Ishvara. There is no birth, there is no death. What then is there to be afraid of?
So what is there to be afraid of?
So, the major drawback for us is like we keep thinking, we keep adding doshas to the Atma, which is pure. We say we are imperfect. We have this and we have that. We keep attaching those doshas to the attributes to the Atma.
Yeah, that you're gaining the punya papa by doing this karya, and you're going to do the Brahmaloka and all that in its time limited, like thinking about the death and things like that. So you want to survive. All that is like more like a delusion, like a false beliefs, right? That is superimposed upon the Atma. So when everything is superimposed on Atma, then that person, I mean, because of the ignorance or the that's what the error causing the error because of the ignorance. So uh, when the wife for the wise person, at the same time, he knows this Brahman is whole, limitless, eternal, and no, not limited by time and space, and so he sees the self in himself, and then the same self in everything else. Because it was described as a consciousness, right? So consciousness, it fills up every space that's available. So it's not, so it's all pervasive, all it's there everywhere. So there is no so Atma is the one, and um, there is no birth or death to it, so no destruction. So knowing that, the wise, sees everybody as samadarshis, like Brahmana and the dog eater and all that. But then at the same time, when he says he sees the Atma and the same in everyone, so that's why he sees everybody the same, but in the meaning of in like Atma, in the point, it's a point of Atma, but he knows the difference of Brahmana and the dog eater. So that is, he knows where he can, they are not equal in those terms. One who is very knowledgeable, the dog eater who commits sin by eating dog. You know, dog is considered to be a like a pet animal. Who would like to kill the animal and eat it, right? That kind of action is very, despicable, meaning very, very like somebody who is deviated in their mind only can do those kind of stuff. So going back here, so he I'm not going in the train of thought in terms of that, but what they meant to say is like here the consciousness fills your intellect, and uh, so so actually the Atma is not affected by the physical body either, right? It's not because of the changes in the body or in the senses. It's not by that, but it is by purification of the mind. You understand the Tattvamasi part, like so how the wise person can tell somebody, this his information that Atma is Brahman. So you are that. So that part, how he can tell that person, it's very nice in that paragraph, like how our mind has to be prepared. Remember, we read about all these gunas, three gunas, even tamas and rajas guna, that in terms of the food, here they say remove the dog from that person first, right? So the meaning is that eating meat and all that, considered to be like, as we read in the coming chapters that we may read about the food, right? It causes that action, like rajasic mind or the tamasic mind. So it's not sattvic mind to receive that knowledge. So in order to receive the knowledge in our mind, our body and senses have to be under control, prepared in a way like with the sattvic food and sadhanas such as like all this yoga and meditation and whatnot. So that is brought in terms of that how we prepare the mind to be prepared, not anything else, to receive that knowledge. Or the knowledge actually is there, and to realize that knowledge, the ignorance. Again, to know what the knowledge is, that the Brahman, Atma is Brahman, Tattvamasi, you are that, that realizing that part. So they're going on a lot here. I mean, this can be attainable in this life, not after death. So how you do that, so when you attain it, then there is no point, no return to this life. So you are one with Brahman. So what is that to be afraid of? You're not going to lose anything, or uh, you know, it be not going through this misery of life.
So beautifully explained, Devi.
I don't know. I only got like, I mean, there is so much was been explained here. Thank you so much. But the this
Yeah,
that
very well summed up, Dr. Mara. Very nice. Every point you have covered so beautifully. Thank you so much. Very well covered.
thank you. So the Brahman is Sthitaha, like how he is stable, and stable in the sense. stiram, right? Like you are established and we are rooted in, the vice is rooted in Brahman. And so because they are so rooted in Brahman, they are not separate from Brahman. So there is no cause for fear. And the dosha one also, because of our delusion, like we superimpose our actions, everything that I do. So that's what. So anybody who wants to share, please go ahead.
Also, one thing like what I can say is that the samdarshina bhava, which is mentioned here, it is again that aham khalu idam brahma. So it is that the bhav which we can like it is not that we can impose upon. It will come spontaneously. So having that sakshi bhava, uh, in that you are witnessing everything. There was an analogy, I think I don't remember in which chapter it was. Like I remember Dr. Brahmra saying that the two birds sitting on a tree, the one is eating the fruit and other is watching. So when we uh, see the things in this way, I think the Sakshi Bhava, then I think that Samdarshina Bhava will come slowly, and this Sakshi Bhava will also not come voluntarily. Rather, it would be also, as we will be moving on this path, doing all our daily nitya namitya karmas, then that sakshi bhava will develop spontaneously as we move on. We cannot like we it's these are not the attributes which we can gain after abhyasa. They will come when our mind is prepared, and when that antakarna shuddhi happening. I think these are the things which are the ultimate goals of our as a human being that we want to achieve, that be in a sakshi bhava, drashta bhava, and samdarshina. So that way we will be closer to the Brahman, to the inner self. So I was just like listening to all these. This was the thing coming into my mind. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
Tad buddhayas tadatmanas tadnishtas tad parayana. So like that, we rooted in your mind all the, buddhi all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atma is yourself, the self, rather than thinking that this body mind complex is I. See, so that thought, we keep on the Brahman and knowing Brahman as everything, as conscious, really.
The dosha part, like, that dosha, it is, when something bad is happening, or in which you are not accepting it, that I'm not saying the Atma dosha, it is like when we are imperfect and we do not accept the situations, the persons, then it is that state that we like we are not accepting our own prarabdha, though it is said no that we choose ourselves, we make a blueprint for the next life. Our own good karmas and bad karmas make the blueprint of the next life. So it is the destiny which we are making, it is all uh, of our own karma, but we are not accepting, and then we are giving dosha to others, then, or maybe sometimes to God also, why he is doing this. So it is again that ignorance, lack of knowledge. Like I recently, my it's my own sister. She her husband was suffering from Parkinsonism, and lately she's been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And then she was saying that I I have always, like, she was in that more of the bhakti part. She was not so much into knowledge, but yes, she was more in that she used to read Bhagavad Gita and more of prayers rather, uh, going into Gita lessons or this way, not very much. So she was just asking, why me? Why I only asked for the bhakti. I only asked for that. Give me some time so that I can pray, do my prayers to you. But uh, this happening that the situation, like, uh, her husband is like he has been a nursing staff is there for him, and lots of work for a patient of a Parkinsonism, because it's a 24-hour job, and along with that some dementia is also happening. So it's a very tiring situation, and on top of it, she got this disease, which is again very. Uh, it's not easy to think, because she has to change all her diet, her lifestyle, and on top of that, she has no help at all. So these things, when they, they are when they are all, if you see in a combined form, it is quite stifling situation. And on top of it, her elder son is not into any job. So all these things are adding to that pressure, and then sometimes uh, a person, he just cries out, why me? I don't want to live now. I was just thinking it this way, that it is only once prarabdha is happening, and it is because of some good and bad karmas it is there. So again, with the help of the knowledge, again it is a way to come out of it. Otherwise, you keep on lingering with that feeling that, and that you know uh, that I've not done anything, then why I am suffering. It is all our own prarabdha. You don't know which karma is happening, which is fructifying now. So it is all, it's such a complex thing. Yeah, just wanted to share, like, it
Hope
just,
she can get some peace in her mind,
yeah,
strength in her mind that to cope with all these issues. It's nobody can take it away, right? And since
yeah,
you can comfort
they
them
just
with
go through.
medication, something
Yeah,
to, but they had to go through with it. Like the same thing, yeah, last week I had like this deep cleaning in my teeth, and did some procedure in my mouth. I can't even speak. This whole mouth was like burning and pain. So you just have to go through patiently, and I was just thinking the same thing. What did I do? Like maybe this karma, whatever I did, I had to go through it. So at least, yeah, that you have that in mind. So it's easy, it's somewhat okay to you do whatever need to be done and that taken care of. So anyway, yeah, hope my
Oh,
great sister and
interesting. So
it,
pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain is the prarabdha you have to go through, no doubt. But your purushartha comes in converting instead of suffering it,
yeah.
taking it with a smile. So that is the purushartha that you can take when you're going through such difficulties.
Yeah.
And two things I wanted to share before we close. I know we've come beyond the time. One is regarding the Atma. Atma is ever shining, pure, like the sun. It is only the mirror that through which we are seeing. That is all that has the doshas. The mind has all the doshas of the kalmashas, raga, dvesha, and punya, papa, and sukha, dukkha, and all of that. So that needs cleansing. That is what needs cleansing. Atma is pure. And every time we say Jai Guru Dev, actually it is realizing and um, it is acknowledging this Atma in everyone. So these three things I wanted to share. Maybe we can take it up. There's one aspect of space that was quite interesting, but I couldn't really understand the import. Is Swamiji said there is no, although space is all pervading, it is not there in the dream state. So that is something that I couldn't really gather my mind on. Maybe we can discuss that tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes. लोका ॐ लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु हरि ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः गुरुदेव
Thank you so much, Dr. Mara and Lavlinji. Dr.
Yeah.
Mara, in spite of your discomfort, you continue to support the Manana session to continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, yeah, you go ahead. You're going to sing your song.
Yeah. एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म अत्र वेदान्तमेव प्रमाणम् बोधक सद्गुरु तत्त्वनिष्ठः ईश्वरानुगृहीतेन वेद्यम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ज्ञानगम्यं तुरीयं हृदस्थम् आत्मरूपं हि तत् येन ज्ञातम् सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति सत्यम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ब्रह्मज्ञस्य तु ब्रह्मैव सर्वम् नास्ति मोहो भयं नैव दुःखम् तस्य स्वानन्दमग्नं हि चित्तम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ब्रह्मैव सत्यं Satyam.
Very good day. Thank you.